Hi, I'm George, the Weather Dad, to take a look at your next 5 days and into next week as well. We have two major weather stories to talk about. First, Hurricane Milton. That's in the Gulf of Mexico. It's going to be a disaster for portions of Florida, the peninsula of Florida. It's going to be a Category 3 or 4 when it does slam across the coast. Landfall sometime late Wednesday night and on into Thursday morning. The other big weather story is enjoy the warm weather across most of the country this week, because next week, big change is coming our way. First, let's talk about temperatures. This is on your Wednesday. A little bit chilly across some of the Great Lakes, Midwest, and certainly up into New England. Nice and warm there in the central U.S. There's Milton there sitting off the coast. Now that's on Wednesday. By Thursday, we do see it coming across the peninsula of Florida. Now temperature-wise, still kind of chilly here in the New England area and portions of the Great Lakes, but nice and warm, very unseasonably warm there in the central U.S. And then by Saturday, we do see some warmer temperatures still here in the Midwest, but notice now some cooler air starting to work its way south out of Canada. By Sunday, there's the cold front. You can see it very nice right there, and that's going to be pushing its way all the way south. Some very, very chilly air working its way in. In fact, taking a look at Wednesday, look at the country. Most of the country will be below normal. Normal high temperatures for this time of year in the upper 60s, 70. Right here in the Ohio Valley, we're going to see high temperatures potentially only in the 50s, low temperatures down in the 30s, which means, now that's right here in the Ohio Valley, frost certainly a strong possibility for next week, especially by Monday and Tuesday, and possibly even on Wednesday, but certainly freezing temperatures across some portions of the Great Lakes. So if you have plants that are still sensitive and still growing, you may want to start thinking about planning for that. Now that's for next week. But also this front's going to work its way down into the state of Florida and even points below. Now that is good news, because what that's going to do is anything that tropical that could develop later on in the next week and the week after that will be pushed down to the south and then off towards the east, away from the Gulf Coast. So even though it's going to be very cold for us, this cold air is actually good news for our friends along the Gulf Coast. All right, precipitation-wise, pretty quiet across most of the country. There's Hurricane Milton there in the central Gulf of Mexico. A little bit of rain up into New England, but for the most part, pretty darn quiet. Here we are on Thursday. That system now comes ashore. You can kind of see there for Milton. The rest of us, though, pretty quiet. A little closer look here. It looks like it's going to come across right around Tampa. That is not good news. There's going to be a lot of devastation associated with this hurricane. But you can see the track. It's going to move pretty much due east, away from everybody else. Those of you in the Carolinas could see some riptide and maybe some showers there on Thursday. Other than that, it's going to be moving off. So once again, landfall late Wednesday night and on into Thursday morning, the way it looks right now. Here we are on Saturday, Milton way off the coast. You can kind of see here pretty quiet across most of the country. Now notice what happens here. This is on Saturday, Sunday. There's that cold front that's going to be swinging on through. Not much precipitation, but there'll be just a little bit there, and then that will swing out, and that front will end up down here along the Florida Strait. So once again, that's cold air will continue to push southward and hopefully keep anything tropical away from our friends along the Gulf Coast. But notice some blue areas and some shower areas across the Great Lakes. There are going to be instability showers. Could we be looking at a little bit of snow? Maybe up in here across the northern portion of the Great Lakes, but I don't think it's going to be cold enough for seeing snow flurries around Chicago. You see a little bit there right around northern Indiana, some lake effect showers there, but some very cold air working its way in for next week, and looks like even the Pacific Northwest is going to get a little bit of shower activity. So there you have it, two main weather stories, Hurricane Milton and an Arctic blast. Arctic may be a little extreme, but a very cold blast of air coming in for next week. I'm George, the Weather Dad.